Welcome back everyone! Welcome back to Let's Play Fallout 1.5 Resurrection. We're in the Imperial City in Albuquerque, and this is actually apparently the Imperial Palace, and we're just trying to be good, you know, not cause any trouble. Greetings, I'm Colonel Zachary Brauman, Recruitment Officer, Administrative Division of the Imperial Army. What can I do for you? Recruitment Officer? Don't you worry about that. Understandably, we only accept dwellers in the Imperial Army, all the more so as we recruit them already in early childhood. This way we have enough time to properly shape those young boys and girls. Administrative Division? That means you're in fact just a clerk, not a soldier, right? I don't want to badmouth anyone, but you seem much more welcoming than most of the dwellers of the Empire. Yeah, you're just a clerk. Each and every position in the Imperial Army serves its purpose for the entire Empire. I've already seen my share of battles, and after my injury, I was transferred here. Selecting new recruits is considered to be an important position. What I do here is separate wheat from chaff. How did you get injured? It happened during the second attack of the Rebirth on the city. That was the second time they tried a large-scale assault in numbers greatly exceeding the first attack. I was part of a regiment defending that which is now called the Dead Quarter. We were defending our position best as we could, but all of a sudden those ghouls flanked us. That was something we did not expect, as the hunters were supposed to cover that side. We were taking heavy fire and I was hit in the left leg. Now I got this limp for the rest of my life. In the end, we and the hunters managed to kill off most of the ghouls that had broken through and the rest fled. Still, until this day, I cannot shake the feeling that back then, the hunters got scared and let the ghouls get into the city without a fight. I was wondering, I don't want to badmouth anyone, but you seem much more welcoming than most of the dwellers of the Empire. I have a belief that the best way to represent our civilized societies to strangers and outsiders is to show them how we are able to communicate with them. Out there, disputes and misunderstandings are dealt with by force, but not here. In other words, you think yourself superior to anyone else. It's a fact, but don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we should exterminate you all or even rule you by force. You people from the wasteland can hardly do anything about your limited fate, and that is something no one can change. We were simply lucky that we grew up in a small oasis of the civilized world, and the only thing we can do is to preserve it for the generations to come. So the die is cast and we just have to come to terms with it. How lucky you are for rolling boxcars. Of course, it is laudable that you're trying to improve your life, but one life is not enough to get to the level of education, manners, and lots more of just an average dweller of the Empire. You'll always be limited by your surrounding. But let's leave the topic. I may have crossed the line there. It was not my intention to make fun of you just because my origin in life is better than yours. There really is no point talking to you anymore. Okay, he probably isn't going to like me doing this. As soon as I lockpick it, he's probably going to go, I destroy you. Oh, no. You won't. Wow. Plasma grenade and some energy cells. We could probably find some energy weapons here. We'll see. Does he have anything? Come on. No. Alright, there's this stuff. They got a lot of stuff. Flamer? No, laser rifle. I'm assuming I cannot go in here. Step away from the door. Yep. Alright, who's her? Woman lost in thought. Well, that sounds like a quest. The young woman turns to you. This is a private room of Advisor Belder. I'm sorry, but you should not be here. I might be just a stupid savage from the wastes, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you're not Belder either. A gentle smile appears on the woman's face, a stranger with a sense of humor. That is not a common sight. You're correct, I am his daughter. In fact, this room will be my own from now on. Father has passed away recently. I'm going through his personals. I've been postponing the task for long enough. I'm sorry for your loss. By the way, my name's Metal. Oh, I apologize for not introducing myself. My name is Lystra Harding Stilson, which is of no significance to you. Let us make it simpler. You can call me Lystra. I would be glad to talk to someone, or at least I will come to new thoughts. So your father's room will be yours now? This room is for one of the Emperor's advisors. It is a function I'm to take up after my father, along with taking over the Imperial Hospital. You see, I'm his only descendant here, and of course, a member of the Empire's family. She grins. So I should address you as Your Imperial Majesty. Lystra puts on a mock smirk. Only if you add all the proprietary bows. Wait, I was just joking. Don't even think about doing it. I've always considered preserving the ruling family as a rather strange practice. I spent my entire life preparing to be in charge of the hospital, but to take it up along with the duties of the advisor at once just because my father did it, I admit I hesitate. Your father managed to do both, right? I'm sure you'll manage it too. Yes, he was very devoted to his work. He worked until the end of his life, even when he became old and his health declined. The problem is, my brother was to become his successor in the position of an advisor, but he's not here. Nobody knows where he has gone. It is almost certain he would have declined to succeed our father, but at least he should have been told about the father's death, if anything. I cannot simply take up all these responsibilities without trying to locate him. What happened to your brother? I wish I knew. He has left Albuquerque. His current whereabouts are unknown to me. How much have you traveled? I know it's a stupid thing to ask, but have you by any chance met a man from the Empire named Sindian? The Wasteland is a big place, but all kind of coincidences happen. I've been far and wide, but the name doesn't ring any bells. I'm sorry. Well, it was worth a shot. I think you would know if you had met him. Sindian is a man of principles and a fighter. He inherited his father's cunning. In short, a strong personality. I'm simply afraid it could have brought him more troubles. Why isn't he in Albuquerque? That is a rather lengthy and complex story to tell. Are you sure you want to hear it? Stupid question, I guess. Why else would you have asked in the first place, right? My brother served in the Imperial Army. As every soldier, he considered it his duty to protect the Empire, but he felt our army was not enough in that respect. He saw the rebirth as too great a threat to use only a passive defense against. He has tried to convince the Empire to actively join the fight against the ghouls, to strain its muscles in order to stop the rebirth completely. He failed. The main argument against it was that using the city's resources outside could make the Empire too vulnerable. This is the eternal belief held by most of the dwellers, as old as the Empire itself. What is your opinion about it? I think it's simply a fear of moving on. There are numerous good reasons to shy away from the surrounding world, and I definitely disagree with Sindian regarding joining the open fight. But we should tend to the world around us more. We should strive to make the world around us a better place instead of tending to our tiny enclosed piece of it. So what did your brother do once he failed to change the attitude of the Empire? He left the city. He joined those who embrace the open conflict with the rebirth on a daily basis. He joined the mutant hunters. You aren't from around here. You cannot possibly conceive the significance of such an act. We have agreements of cooperation with the hunters, at least within certain borders. In fact, Sindian broke no rules by doing so, but the dwellers of the city considered it treason. He tried to protect the Empire so fiercely that he became an enemy to his own people. Our father was the one who had the most difficulty accepting it. When Sindian shared his plans with him before his departure, they had an ugly argument. That wasn't the last time they spoke. Oh, no, that was the last time they spoke. Father has refused to discuss him ever since. He always got mad whenever I started talking about my brother. Did Belder share the opinion of the dwellers in this regard? I guess so. In addition, it put us in a certain light, but Father could deal with that. His dedication and resolute acting meant people did not consider him or me traitors. I think the greatest impact this situation had on Father was overwhelming disappointment. He had envisioned a great future for Sindian in the army and in the Imperial Council. He had always been so proud of him, and all of a sudden he threw it all away and acted directly against his father's conviction. How did it go for Sindian with the hunters? Is he no longer with them? Sindian was not the first. On very rare occasions, a dweller of the city wants to join the hunters. They are immediately accepted by them. I believe their leaders hope they will gain access to our technology and resources, but my brother managed to alienate the hunters in just a few weeks. I'm not certain what exactly happened. I assume he must have done something they did not like. He was forced to leave Albuquerque in a hurry. I have no idea in which direction he left. You don't know how much about his activities since he left the Empire. Where did you get the little info you have? I received a message from one of the immigrants stating that my brother is gone. That man who sent it wanted me to meet and tell me more about what had happened. But it took several days for the message to reach me, and then it was too late. First, I could not find him. After a more thorough investigation, I found out the immigrant and his wife had been ill. They tried to get help in the hospital in the dead quarter, but they died there. And none of the hunters wanted me to tell me anything about Scindian. When I mentioned his name, they acted very hostile. I mean, more than usually. Tell me more about your brother. Scindian always chooses the greatest of challenges and faces them full of enthusiasm. He fights for what he believes in, and he will not stop until he succeeds. He's simply headstrong, just like his father was. They could argue for hours when there was something they did not agree on. It used to happen. The fact is, father was the one who made Scindian the way he is. He enrolled him in the army at the lowest possible age. He continuously encouraged his ambition and tried to imprint on him devotion to the Empire. He was exactly the same towards me, with the exception of the army, but there is no doubt he put more of his effort into Scindian. Can you ask about your mother? Is she still alive? No, she's not. She died soon after I was born. Postpartum complications of such nature, even my father was unable to deal with them. Afterwards, he raised me and my brother on his own. More specifically, he tried to instill us with the ability to take care of ourselves. The rest was provided by the Empire. Why didn't you set out to look for your brother? I know what it looks like out there. You must be thinking now I hold the beliefs of an ignorant woman who has never left the safety of the Imperial City's walls. I can assure you I've visited Albuquerque on many occasions. The curiosity simply got the best of me. That is how I know how dangerous even this area can be, not to mention the wastes. I can defend myself quite effectively, but combat simply is not where I feel most comfortable. I've tried to field support, someone who would accompany me. Find support. No one even unofficially wanted to set out of the city because of my brother. Everybody still considers him a traitor. Yeah, she's another... I knew she was going to be another NPC you could take with you. But of course, I can't. And where do you feel more comfortable if it's not fighting? I'm a physician. I've had the best teacher possible, my father. He was an extraordinary practitioner of medicine, a true professional. My vocation is to save lives, not to take them. You want to travel with me? We can help each other. You're trying to seek out your past despite the fact they are trying to kill you. No, she doesn't let you answer. Without regard to your danger during research, it's undoubtedly the only means of stopping the attacks on your person once and for all. And you're clearly driven by an insistent curiosity, am I right? In a way, you remind me of my brother. Does that mean you'll join me? The truth is, I did not want to depart on my own. However, that does not mean I'm willing to join a party this large. I'd be willing to join you, but it seems you have no space for me. Yeah, we have a huge party here. Unfortunately, because of our one charisma. Let's try to lockpick this. Oh, she doesn't mind. Well, there's some energy cells. I can certainly use that. Nothing there. Nothing there. Well, these are cells. What the hell is that in there? Oh, security robot. Holy crap, they've got those huge robots. Is that the... Oh yeah, that's Mizrael. That's the king. He only has 55 HP. You see an old man in a blue robe made of high-quality cloth. He's doubtlessly Mizrael, the ruler of the empire. You know what's funny? This guy looks special. Strict-looking man with this disfigured face. The funniest thing is, you see all these soldiers here guarding, and there's only one soldier near the door for the king. My apologies, stranger, but I really don't have the time to deal with your issues. My position involves many important tasks that can bear no delay. It would be best if you left immediately. What tasks would those be? She looks shocked. That's really none of your business. Do you even know who you're talking to? I am Advisor Eliza. Asking about my duties could get you into a lot of trouble. It would be wise to avoid that and leave me alone. Wait, I've been looking for you. Lieutenant Sean Tarek told me that you need a capable person for a job. I'd like to sign up. That good-for-nothing sent you? He really does try my patience. The only job he could know about was the one assigned to him, but he's been tarrying for an eternity. He likely hopes to pass it on to someone else this way, but she thinks for a moment. That's not a completely stupid idea. This errand could indeed be more suited to someone without a connection to the Empire. She studies you carefully. Do you really wish to work for the Emperor? If the reward is sufficient, I'd like nothing more. I'm glad to hear that, but before you do so, you should know that I demand absolute loyalty. You may only serve the Emperor unconditionally or not at all. If you're willing to agree to this, I could have other uses for you as well, but I want to hear a clear answer from you. Don't even think of betraying us. I will be watching you closely. Actually, I'm afraid that even our enemy will know if you decide to work for us. The uncomfortable truth is that the whole Empire is riddled with his informants. I can't say this any clearer. I'm in, so tell me who I'm supposed to go up against already. I prefer not to tie myself with obligations this strict. I can't work for you. As you wish. I won't bother you with useless attempts to persuade you otherwise. My offer will stay open for now, should you change your mind, but it won't be forever. Yeah, see, this is the other part. The one is there in the, in Albuquerque, the one here. So, I'm still not sure if I want to work for the Emperor, if I can talk to him, although I kind of doubt we'll be able to talk to him. The man's scarred face contorts into a malicious grimace. You have no business being here. This palace area is meant only for Imperial dwellers. You foreigners are to quickly finish your business here and leave the city. I'd advise you to do just that for your own good. I see visitors are not particularly welcome here. Who are you anyway? He pulls the sleeve of his jumpsuit from his armor and taps on a golden number 16 soon on it. I am Aaron, one of the advisors, Supreme Commander of the Imperial Military. That is all that foreigners like you need to know. Just one more thing. How did you come by the scars in your face? The cause of my wounds does not concern you. Mind your own business and leave me be. Nobody tells me what to do, pal. Now I'm gonna kick your arrogant ass. As you wish. Goodbye. Right, so I'm assuming we won't be let in here. Let's see. Emperor Miserel has no desire to see a foreigner. Or Miserel, as we said. That's locked. Of course I'm gonna try to lockpick it. No, nobody cares. That's good. It's locked. Oh, it's still locked. Okay. Still locked. Oh wait, why am I doing that? Why am I not using the expand the lockpick set? Oh, interesting. A holodisc. Pulse weapon research. Wow, 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 wow. Oh yeah, this is probably what those people want, I'm assuming. This stuff outside. Whoa. Since the first attacks of the Rebirth, our forces have faced a hostile army equipped with highly resistant armor, including powered infantry armor model T-51B. This raises the need to increase the effectiveness of our weapons against these advanced protective measures. One of the possible directions is to develop a development of pulse weapons. Thus, we began to examine the issues of development and production of these high-energy systems. Analysis of the YK-32 pistol, yes, of which we've had several pieces in our armory since the war, has served as the basis for this research. The pulse weapon for the Yuma Flats Energy Consortium is characterized by solid construction and high performance. It is quite notable for its unique cigar-like shape and 3 distinct cooling ribs. The gun fits very well into the hand as the pistol grip, where the batteries are hidden. It is considerably heavier than the rest of the weapon, which basically only consists of light electronics hidden in chassis made of non-magnetic metals. The electronics in this pistol are made with amazing precision. Secondary and tertiary converters are characterized by an unusually high efficiency, and the primary energy circuits of the weapons are also designed in original, efficient style. After all, this gun has only 3 cooling ribs. The residual heat generated by a system of particle accelerators is very small, and the weapon does not appear to have the tendency to overheat even after many consecutive shots. However, the downside of this performance is lower accuracy. The gun has only 1 radiation rectifier battery. It was simply not possible to fit more of them into the weapon. When firing from a greater distance, the pistol then suffers from a considerable dispersion. Along the same line, it also suffers from a problem, or rather is the victim of the overall design, which is inadequate capacity. sufficient for just 5 shots. Well, you know what? I would appreciate some line breaks, but that's fine. We're gonna read the rest of it next time. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, I hope I'll see you in the next part. Check out my Patreon for more goodness, and have a good one. Bye-bye.